Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. I have actually loaded up the game from the quick save and then reset the game, and that gives me this to tell me how many hours I've logged and all that stuff. So we are 150.1% into the game, and it's been 7 hours, 37 minutes, and 26 seconds. You can see it took me 9 hours, 45 minutes, and 3 seconds to get to 198.3. The goal is to get over 197%. Shouldn't be too difficult. See if this is actually the right spot. I think it is, but I don't know. Yep, that's the right spot. Alright. So last time we fought Beelzebub. Dealt with him. And a few other things. Made our way through the chapel to where we are now. And again, I'm just kind of exploring at this point. Oh, whatever. Alright, so we're in a room with bitterflies now. Bitterflies, a little bit obnoxious because they are invisible for the most part. And because of this, they can sneak up on you if you're not careful. But again, not terribly difficult. You just kind of have to keep your eyes open. Make sure you're paying some degree of attention. They don't hit very hard. As you can see, that was 14 damage, which isn't a whole hell of a lot. Still fine. Excuse me, still fine after that. So, yeah, they go invisible and they float around, and then you have to kill them that way, and it can be frustrating. That's about all they do, though. Alright, so we're now on the other end of the long hall. Go ahead and finish this off, I guess, and then I'll head up. Again, Guardians can be a little bit frustrating, not difficult, just you have to sit there and really wail on them because they'll block half your shots, like the jerks that they are. Oops. Nope, I don't want to go that way. I've already been that way, in fact. I need the clock to open the other side. I don't have it right now, so we'll come back once we have it. I was definitely not touching that when it hit. Those guys also must be worth a shit ton of fucking experience. Holy crap. 7,010. Yeah, I'm definitely getting hit by a phantom wave there. Holy shit. These guys are worth over 4K. I'm gonna kill one more and I'll level up from it. Jesus. Whoop. They do hit real hard. Even at this point, 79 damage is no joke. So they hit plenty hard. But, you know, as long as I'm not being stupid, I should be okay. And this should be another level up. Yep. God damn, I had no idea these guys drop so much XP. Or were so much XP, I guess. But yeah, with that, I think if I killed one more, I would level up again, and that would put me at 46. But I don't really need to grind on those guys. I'm already high enough level that it doesn't really matter. I don't need to boost it any further. So, let's head on up here. And this is one of the first areas that we went to in the game. Back when it was right side up. This is one of the first places we came and checked out. Actually, I guess that's not really entirely accurate. But we're close to the start of the game right now. Why am I having such a hard time pulling that off? What the fuck? Oh, my square button got stuck. That was interesting. Uh-oh. I might have to switch controllers over in a minute here if the square button keeps getting stuck. I don't think there's anything that I missed over here. Yeah, no. Back to one of our favorite rooms. Nope, I can't quite throw it far enough for that. I'm gonna have to go over that and come down here. There we go. Again, the Nova skeletons aren't the be-all, end-all of damage that you can take, but they hit hard enough to make it noticeable and make it worth not getting hit by. So, I try to avoid getting hit by their Novas whenever possible. You might remember this as the hallway that we first fought the Cthulhu guy. And the armor that swung the ball on a chain was there too. And now here we are on the other side of this. Yeah, see? It's not like a death sentence to get hit by the Nova skeletons, but it hits hard enough that you're gonna feel it. Anyway. You may remember this room from the very beginning of the game. This is one of the first rooms that we came to. I don't know if I accidentally hit the square button or if it got stuck again. Either way, not great, not very thrilled about that. Might have to get a new controller. I mean, I have other PS3 controllers that I could plug in, I guess, so it wouldn't really be a big deal. I just have to, you know, go grab another one and plug it in. Yeah, sure, whatever, I'll go this way. Oh, yes, cool. Another warp point. Don't need it right now, but there's another warp point here. I don't know, guys. I feel like this controller might be on its last legs here. It just went through. It's going through it. I'm not hitting anything for the most part, and it's reacting as though I am. So it might be time to retire this controller. I do have another one already set up here. So I would just have to unplug this and plug in the other one. It's not a PlayStation controller, but it's the same general setup. It's a Logitech. It does the trick. I don't know why I'm getting this crazy drift though. Anyway, those guys, the Dragon Riders, when you don't have the Chrysogrim, and you can't just kill them in one hit, can be a huge pain in the ass. So this is still openable in the same way. And I believe... you still have to go through it in the same way. And that will open the lower door. Which gives us the barrel circlet, which isn't particularly useful to us right now. It raises our intelligence by 10, but it lowers our strength and defense. However, it heals lightning when we, or heals health. It heals us when we take lightning damage. So, while it's not super useful right now, it's going to become extremely useful against a particular boss. I'm just going to hold on to this until we get back to the clock room. Actually, let's go this way so that we can just sort of finish out what would be the front of the map, as it were. You know, the beginning of the castle. There we go. I wanted to show that guy off because the art is pretty cool for him. Nope, I want that. Oops. Smashed my face into that. Thought I was high enough. Now, I feel like there's a way, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like there's a way to kill the Warg Rider such that, or not the Warg Rider, the Dragon Rider, such that you can then ride on the dragon. I guess I'll let her come up so you can actually see what she looks like. She just looks like all the other Venus weeds. Just, you know, she's blue, as the name would imply. Go ahead and save the exploration progress. Whap. No, I don't want that. I want the clock. Thank you. Ooh, I actually got hit. Whoa, that was... Oh, man. This emulator, I feel like I never had any issues with it until I decided to start streaming this. Like, I've played through the entire game on this exact setup and not had any issues. And yet, for whatever reason, it keeps freaking out and seizing up for no good reason. Anyway. Not a big deal, I guess. Just something I'm noticing. I feel I should also mention, again, that while I am playing this on an emulator currently, I do, in fact, own the game in like 4 different ways. Oh yeah, and now, with the dog, we can actually swim, I believe. I don't remember how you do it. Is it triangle? Yeah, the dog can swim, which is useful for the upside down stuff here, because it allows you to get up top where you need to get to reach the full map percentage in these areas. Wait, you just hold down triangle in a direction and the dog will swim, no problem. There's Dark Octopus. He's not much of a threat right now, but we'll find another room with him in it that much more interesting. Okay. Now you of course don't need to be in dog form to navigate the water, because you can always just, you know, jump up. However, the dog, again, actually can swim, and thus makes it much easier to navigate the area and, you know, hug the roof so you can get all the sweet, sweet map percentage. Oh, the octopus is back. Get up in here. Ooh. Here we are at the waterfall. which is significantly easier to navigate now. Because A, the dog can swim up it. You do kind of have to zigzag. It's not that big of a deal to do. And B, we have our jump power. So we can always just launch ourselves skyward if we want to. Anyway, that's the Osafune Katana, which is a two-handed sword, deals 74 damage per hit. Not bad. Decent. You know, does the trick. Yeah, I'm just gonna ride the waterfall most of the way down. Get the random garnet over here. So it is actually slightly difficult to get this now. You have to just make that jump and then get up there. I'm of course going to go up and explore the water areas, get the map percentages and stuff. But I just want to get through all this first, and then I'll get there. Alright. Dog form is great for navigating in here, but it doesn't do a whole hell of a lot of damage, so you kind of have to switch out once you actually get into the area, as it were. If you want to be able to actually, you know, kill the stuff you come up against. Anyway. Get a potion for that. Cool. And another health up. You can see our life has gotten pretty high at this point. We're at 578. Very healthy folk. Supersonic pooch. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go forward first. Go ahead and save real quick. Then we're gonna head on up. Now, if you remember correctly, this area had a breakable floor before. Well, now it's got a breakable ceiling. So we can head on up this way. That's a sound we haven't heard in a while. Once the dog gets to that point, he can no longer actually, what am I trying to say? He can no longer actually swim. He's just stuck on the edge of the water. Anyway. Dog doesn't swim very quickly either. It swims, which it's the only thing that can actually swim. Otherwise, you just kind of float through the water as best you can figure. Wow, that's impressive. I didn't know they could jump that high. Fuck you. Or into the water, for that matter. So that's what the cave trolls do. They jump at you and they stick their tongues out real far. And if they hit you with the tongue, you take a little bit of damage. And now we have the Force of Echo. So now as a bat, if we echo, it will actually do damage. Not a lot, I don't think, but it does enough to, you know, break candles, which is handy when you're flying through an area. Also, an interesting sound effect accompanies it, I guess. Anyway, so that's the end of this side. We're going to go up and then to the left at the next spot. Cave trolls also drop neutron bombs, which are very powerful single-use damage all enemy weapons. So if you can grab a few extra, why the hell not, right? And it's time for a boss fight. So I'm gonna put my save state here. And we will fight with the... Go with the Terminus Est for this fight. Oh, I froze him at the wrong time. There we go. That makes him easy. So that's Doppelganger 40, which is just a boosted version of the original Doppelganger. Now, let's fight him with the Chrysogrim. So again, not super difficult. What makes this fight interesting, or what makes this fight potentially difficult, even if you have the Chrysogrim, is that because he constantly gets knocked back, you can't really just lock him in a corner and beat the shit out of him. You still have to hit him the actual number of times it's going to take to kill him. The Chrysogrim can still kind of lock him down just because it, you know, keeps him from moving so much. But hey, remember when I said the Dark Octopi were going to become like an issue? This is the room where the Dark Octopus becomes an issue. So when you first fall into that room, there's a ton of them there, and they just start spraying ink everywhere. Chrysogrim makes pretty quick work of them. Blah, the Chrysogrim makes pretty quick work of them. But still, you just have to be aware that it's going to happen. This is the Dark Blade, which is kind of cool looking. It's a sword forged by elves. I think it has... Is it not? I thought it had a special attack, but it might not. Or I might just be doing the wrong button combo, as it were. I'm curious. Nope, that just resulted in me being in a very bad spot. Anyway, you can pretty easily just cut through all of this shit. I think one of them dropped another sushi? Is that what I picked up? I'm not entirely sure. It was that. Yeah, sushi. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, lots of octopi in that room now. And because of the way it's set up, you're gonna have to... You're almost certainly going to fall into it at some point, whether you want to or not. Alright, now you probably remember this very long tunnel from last time we came to it, and we went the other direction. We were trying to get up it rather than go down it. Now it leads here. So one thing that I do appreciate about the game is they don't really try and make navigation difficult for you in the second castle. I think they expect you to have all of the movement abilities unlocked. So it's less about, okay, how do I get around this area, and more about, oh, there's new enemies here, or, you know, I just have to navigate this slightly differently because it's upside down now. But I don't think that they really expect anybody to get hung up on navigation at this point. God damn it. I want my meal ticket, y'all. Thank you. And since the succubus isn't here, this room no longer does anything. It gives you some peanuts, and that's about it. This is still a safe room, though, so we'll save. I think it is possible to sort of fall through half of that stuff, but it's pretty dangerous, because if you hit any of those balloon pods, then you're going to take damage, and you're going to end up getting poisoned, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so with that long tunnel out of the way, we now come to the connection here, which leads us into that sort of weird twisty room that then goes up into the other area. So, let's go this way and, you know, finish exploring, shall we? Oh, god damn it, I hit the wrong fucking button. Now those are all going to be stuck there. Also, going up the pods are sort of an issue. Going down, not at all. Okay. So that does more than enough damage to easily take out the pods and all the little critters in them. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this area off, or this hallway off here, I guess, which we've now done. And then we'll go check this out. God damn it. You know what, I'm just gonna miss through it because I don't want to deal with them right now. Alright, so that's that area done. Let's go this way. Hey, look! More life! And a secret room. So, let's see. We've now mapped out a good chunk of the area. We're going to go finish off the stuff to the left here, I think, is the first thing I want to do. And then we'll go up to the top. And then we'll head to the sort of second area of the game that is now going to be one of the last areas we get to, I guess. But we don't have a lot to finish out up here. Mostly it's just the save point and then a little bit of stuff in this direction. Anyway. Oop. See, those things are still evil. Fuck you, that's bullshit. Oh. Oops. Anyway, moving on. So this is where I wanted to go next. There's not a lot up here. But we've now explored this area. Like I said, not a whole lot left to do on this side. So next, we got a bunch of shit in the middle to go check out, and we got the stuff at the bottom to go check out. So I'm going to go back towards the clock. Ooh, that was a lot of stuff coming at me all of a sudden there. Alright, this is the way I want to go. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. Beat up some more of these guys. Take all their XP. Yeah, I had no idea that these guys were like the grind, as it were, because you can come in here and kill them pretty quick, and they're worth a ton of XP. Anyway, so go over here, grab a couple things. Mostly I'm getting map percentage here. And then we're going to go the other way if it's open. If not, we will go up and to the left, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going right now. But I'm going places. I will get somewhere eventually. Nope. Haha, made it in. Only just. I barely made that, but I made it in. Okay. And let's see where this takes us. Ah, yes, the arena. Where we now have werewolves. Lots of werewolves. And a boss fight. Yes, I remember what fight this is. Okay. So, let's drop a quick save here. We're going to use the Dark Blade. This is kind of an interesting fight. I like this one. Dun 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 dun. Oh no, it's our party from Castlevania 3. We got fake Trevor, we got fake Sifa, and then all the way up at the top we got fake Grant. Grant Dynasty. The only one who doesn't show up in the Netflix show for whatever reason. He was too dynasty for it, I guess. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting fight because it's actually 3 people at once, which unto itself is a little bit more complicated than most of the other boss fights you run into. And they all 3 have different attack styles. So Trevor fights a lot like Richter. You know, he uses a whip, and he'll throw out sub-weapons and that sort of thing. Sifa floats around up top and mostly just throws spells at you. And then Grant will just kind of crawl around on top and drop stuff on you every once in a while. So, not a terrible fight, but, you know, I like it, it's interesting. Let's see how it goes with the Chrysogrim equipped, yeah? Alright. I also want to try and take out Trevor first. This time around. Easily done. There's Grant dead. And there's Sifa. So, again, exceptionally easy fight with the Chrysogrim. Not a particularly difficult fight without it, but exceptionally easy fight with the Chrysogrim. And again, I really like that fight. It's one of my favorite boss fights in the game, just because it's so much more unique than a lot of the other boss fights, which are just, oh look, big monster, fight big monster. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Also, it ties into some story significant shit. Like, you know, I think I talked about how I like the Succubus fight, because even though it's not a particularly interesting or engaging boss, the actual lore and stuff surrounding it are pretty cool. You know, it's actually a boss that ties into the story of the game. For once, instead of just being like, here's a big monster to fight, go kill it. And these guys, that fight, Sypha, Trevor, and Grant, ties into the story. If you're not familiar with the lore of Castlevania, in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, you get to play as all three of those characters, Grant, Trevor, and Sypha, as well as Alucard, in his first actual appearance in one of the Castlevania games, in which he looked very, very different. Much more like the sort of classic Bela Lugosi vampire style there. And as a group, you all go and defeat Dracula. And now it's many, many years later, and Dracula has once again risen from his slumber, or at least his castle has appeared, and so you have to go kill Drac. And I think it's kind of interesting that they've already had the two doppelgangers, as it were, who showed up, who looked like you, that you had to fight. And they've also had you fight Richter. And then this one actually ties into Alucard's previous history with the series. I just like when they do stuff like that, when they go a little bit beyond just like, oh yeah, it's a boss fight. So these floating cow skulls are just like the big bronze skulls that are floating around in other places in the inverted castle. Can't do any damage to them, they just float around and prevent you from moving through them. Not super exciting, not really much of a threat. Just a slightly different look of an enemy that already exists. And in this room we get Gram. And Gram will probably be the next sword that I use the next time I decide to do or the next boss fight we run into. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, we need to go through here. Oh, we got the Iron Fist, the worst Netflix Marvel series. I don't know, I never actually watched any of the Netflix Marvel series? I don't know, whatever you want to call them. I never watched any of them, so I can't really say for sure, but I heard only bad things about it. So damn, I got skulled. Okay, so this finishes out the arena, which I like the arena as well. I like everything about this game. You've probably figured that out by now. But I like the arena for a couple reasons. One, it's just kind of a cool area. And two, or the Coliseum, I guess it is, not the arena, whatever it's called. And two, I like that it's symmetrical. Like, the area is completely symmetrical. So the only the only part of it I still have to check out is the two bits up top, which is to say at the bottom now, that I haven't actually been to yet. And they connect on either side of this big area, which has an Azaghal in it, which has a couple Azaghals in it. Azaghal's not particularly difficult, especially with the Chrysogram. Even without the Chrysogram, what you need to go for is the hilt of the sword. That's what takes damage. The big red spectral guy there, he doesn't actually take any damage if you swing at him. He don't care. Alright. So I think from here, I'm going to go back through the room I just came through, and then out through the next right door. And that'll get me to the next area I want to check out. It isn't worth noting, I guess, that his entire sword will hurt you if you hit it. But again, only the actual hilt of his sword, the skull there, it will take damage if you swing at it. Because that seems fair. What am I at now? Jeez, somebody's really angry out there. Did I go through the right door? Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, no, that's the right way. Alright, so we're gonna go this way. Actually, you know what? Scrap that. I'm gonna go this way. Because there's a whole other section this way that I haven't gotten to yet. Fuck you. Come on. Jesus. Bleh. Anyway, yeah, something at the end of this that I want to check out. Yeah, I didn't go this way last time. People just yelling and honking for no good reason. Alright. Well, not yelling, but honking anyway. So, we've got a warp point here. I'm trying to decide if I want to warp anywhere. I don't think I really do. I think I'm going to go back the way I was going to come. I figured I should clear that out just because it made more sense to clear it out now than to wait. I think, though, that I'm going to go up and then down the long hall rather than through the arena again. Doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. But yeah, head that way. Something like 9,000 XP, why yes, I don't mind if I do. That's another free level up. And we are now at 48, Jesus, we're almost at level 50 already. Also at about 8.5 hours. Woo. Anyway, at this point I'm just going straight, and then I'm gonna go back to the hall with 3 areas. We're gonna head up next. Yeah. Excuse me. And I think what I'm probably gonna do... Oops. In here... Or not in here necessarily, but what I'm gonna do when I get there is I will save... I do like that when you hit slight inclines in Wing Crash, you just go sailing off into the far reaches of space. Yeah, I'm pushing an hour at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and save and call it a day here. And next week, we'll come back to it and move on from there. So, thanks for coming out. We're at about 8.5 hours into this game. It took me almost 10 hours to beat it last time, so I suspect we've only got maybe a stream or two before we're finally done with Castlevania. And then we'll move on to other stuff, I guess. Let me go ahead and make sure I've got a save there. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Cheers.